A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Bo Loft Jensen, former world champion, well-respected adjudicator, top coach in the world, being in office as one of the adjudicators during the World Championships, Latin America. The day after, how do you feel?
I feel good.
You feel good?
Yeah, it was a great night.
You enjoyed the competition?
It was the overall level was very, very high from the beginning. Probably the highest level I've seen.
Oh, that's a good sign. Yeah, and when we talk about the competition as a whole, so many couples, so many countries, do you think that Latin American dancing in general is developing in the right way?
I think now it is on track.
On track again.
I felt that for some years it was becoming very much about only dance ability, and by that I mean the ability to do stuff and not necessarily for the right reason. Doing splits and stuff like that. A lot of partnering, I feel that that's beginning to come much back again. So I'm happy about it. I think we have some very good couples. I think the level is extremely even on the scores, even though they're different. And that's an interesting conundrum, I think. That we have some couples who are scoring the same but with different concepts. And from this system that we use on the 3.0, we cannot necessarily score from the heart.
Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Do you want to see a couple, or you have prepared yourself for this?
Well, I just make some notes because I think it's important that I have my thoughts in order.
That's really what we need, though, because as this is a first, and we have talked a long time already about this subject, about the debriefing session. In the conversations I had so far, some of the judges really express their feeling and give their opinion about performances, about components, and it really went well. But looking to the absolute judging system, we were always responsible for the whole performance. You know, ranking the couples, comparing the couples, placing the couples, and now we have these components. What components did you have in the final?
Technical qualities and partners.
In the 24?
Movement to music and
12 as well?
Yes.
So you changed after 2 rounds. You changed for technical quality for the viewers around the world, and the partnering skills when it applies for the solo dances. What about absolute judging system?
Well, I think if I go back to what I just started before, all the couples, especially in the final and some outside, have very excellent technical skills. Very few problems. So I think that actually we are scoring from 10 and down. Now 10 for me is very, very difficult. For me, my 10 is probably 9.75. But this is the way that when I look, because they are so good, things don't even necessarily come into your view in this final. There are certain points that I look at where I know there could normally be problems, like recovering after spins, slight problems with the feet and leg transfers, stuff like that. And the partnering skills, sometimes in the excitement we get a little bit too rough and of course lost of balance for our partner.
Sometimes.
So they're the things I look at, and then from there my scale is set, or my score is set. Actually what it comes down to, if we say that my 9.75 thing comes down to atmosphere. The atmosphere that the couple can create on the floor. And I just wrote down here, because this is actually in our handbook, the creation of a dancer's capability of drawing the viewer completely into the atmosphere evoked through his dance, and the ability to excite, thrill, arouse, inspire, and move the audience. And if they can do that, then they're number one.
But yes, it's in our handbook, and I won't argue that at all, but thinking about the past, though, you have danced with your beautiful wife so many years. I was witness when you were crowned as the world champion.
Yes.
You know that?
I remember.
I remember. The audience yesterday night, for example, they had a favorite couple. And isn't the audience always make the right decisions?
Well, I think yesterday in that particular dance, yes, they did.
Yeah.
In
that particular dance, we're talking about samba,
yes.
The first dance.
I remember that because it's one of my highest marks of the day. So that is why I remember it, because I did 2 times 9.75.
It's really what you're reading out from the handbook.
Yeah.
It's what you appreciated.
Yeah, because the other criteria that we look at, that I've learned through my 40 years, well, actually more, but we say 40
We
years.
don't say
my 40 years of experience as a dancer myself and as a teacher, they were there, and they, of course, in the handbook, and we can reassure ourselves about what we're looking at. But if they are there, and then we get this is the ultimate. That's what I want to see now.
We talked about it today already, to be or not to be, and they were there.
Yeah.
As easy as it can be. Thank you for this explanation, though, because this is really what we are looking for. Yeah. Do you mind we look to the screen and
no problem.
Shall we go to samba?
Yes.
David is our technical engineer, and we will ask. Well, on request.
Well, it wasn't a request, but look at that.
This was your highest score of, and really you have explained it to us already. And I must admit, the judges were sitting behind the table.
Yes.
And I was on the completely right side, and I had this, I had this myself as well. They had so much energy. Why was this couple the favorite of the crowd, do you think, Bo? I always wonder why. What is it?
I don't know. They seem to, when they are solo, they just seem to perform really well, as opposed to as in the groups. So maybe they were made for solo dancers. I don't know.
Yeah. So this is.
But I think what they give there is true, honest Latin American dancing.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm not saying the other couples are not doing that, but I see partnering, I see coordination, I see enjoyment, musicality. So, yeah, for me that was the best samba of the night, for sure.
Well, for sure, and this is dance sport, we have to respect, and we do, the opinion of all the adjudicators, but the audience didn't agree with the result. After the samba, it's a long time ago. I heard even boos, but then that's emotion as well.
Well, of course. But it's good that they can create this emotion for you.
But
that's what it's all about.
I agree fully with you.
And hopefully
in our
handbook
handbook.
too.
And what you said and what you read out from the handbook, I always wonder. And when you're not judging, you're looking from a different perspective. You have this very, very good couples with different styles, performing so close to each other. What at the end, with all these subcomponents and indicative qualities in absolute way, what is really making your decision? Is that our emotion?
Well, I try not to make it my emotion, even though I want to.
Yeah.
Because possibly my scores will not be the same. But here, like I explained, for me that was it, and I'm happy that this actually atmosphere has been introduced into the handbook because it was not there before. We were not supposed to introduce.
well, yeah, you're so right.
And this is the one point where when we get to the ultimate, that we are allowed to show our opinion.
If you would have the task from the WDSF, as you are most experienced, you have judged 1.0, you've been through them all. For the viewers, 2.0, 2.1. Now with the 3.0 system, maybe for the viewers at home, a judge sticks to the same components during a round, 24-12, and in the final, Mr. Jensen, Bo Loft had to judge the technical quality and the partner.
Yes.
So we only do a part of the whole performance. If you had a task, or they would ask you to rewrite the handbook, or make your thoughts about absolute judging system. Would you have any recommendations for us? Would you like to share them with us?
I would mostly like, I would very much like to share.
Yeah.
As you know, we have 12 subcomponents in the technical qualities, and I think when we add up, I'm not sure it's the right number, but I'm close to 240 IQs. And if I seriously have to take them into consideration, I don't think it's possible. It's not possible. So I think we need to cook it down. Personally, because of course I understand what's in the book, I personally have cooked it down for myself so I know what I am looking at.
And you're not the only one.
No. Because it's impossible otherwise.
It is, and I've seen a marvelous lecture from Marina Ferrari, making groups of the technical quality already. So I think this could be a possibility for the future, because there's a lot of criticism about the absolute judging system, but do you have the same feeling as me that since 3.0 it's easier, it's better for us to focus on our components all the time, because we don't hop on, hop off.
I think, again, when we talk about the level that we just seen on the screen, the components, they merge together anyway, and also they are overlapping. So when I'm judging technical quality, am I also judging musicality? Yeah, probably.
Whether you like it or not.
Exactly, because we have to take to give a score like 9.75. Everything has to merge together, and 10 it has to be fantastic. But I have given 10s.
Thank you, Bo, for sharing your thoughts about this, because this is really what the debriefing session is about. That normally the people see these scores and they don't have any idea what's behind it. Now with these kind of explanations, that's the thing I find out is today. This is very positive, not only for the couples themselves, but for the trainers, the coach, and people who just love to watch dance sports. May I assume that we
can do it. I just want to comment. Actually, watching that on screen didn't do them justice.
No. This is I've heard before.
So watching it yesterday, and this is not because I'm
for
sure
too
high, but
the viewers,
it takes away the edge.
Yeah, the viewers should realize at home. It's so true what Bo Loft is saying here, that when you are there, witness the thrills, the excitement, the energy going around.
It's a bit like being at a football match with a stadium full of people cheering the team, and also of course the music that we get is completely different quality.
So
things merge together.
But we have to make the best of it. Is it a suggestion, by the way? The viewers will see it off the screen anyhow. Would you prefer that the debriefing session would not be the day after, but straight after the final?
No, for me, I don't have a problem with it being the day after, except I should have been home to work and I have to change my ticket. But that's another problem.
Yeah.
My wife now has to do the job of two people because I had a training session with some couple.
Well, I appreciate it that you're with us anyhow. Shall we go to the jive finally?
Sure.
Do you have any couple in mind?
I'll leave it up to you. I saw them all.
And for the viewers at home, our distinguished judge from Denmark, former world champion, had the task, components, technical quality and partnering skills. We will watch one of the couples who made this grand final of the World Latin American Championships, and it will be a surprise what David. First couple, number 15. Our bronze medal winners. If you would like to comment in general about this.
Yeah, well,
stick to the
I don't
components.
particularly like that. I think that's out of character with the dance, and it's a gimmick, and I wonder why it's there. Because the gimmick is not long enough for it to work. If you really need to make a point of something, then you're going to do it for longer. So for me, that's an empty gesture. But that's just a thought on choreography.
Yeah.
But they're great dancers. No, they're like also so much into it. They all are.
They dance the heart out, eh?
Yeah, slightly lost of balance there.
Yeah.
That would be one of the things that I would possibly have deducted. I cannot remember my score for this couple, but I scored around 9.5, 925 for the two components. I'm not sure.
You marked in technical quality 9.5,
Yeah.
and in the partnering skills as well.
Okay.
So I think a very fair score.
Yeah.
Well, Bo, finally, do you want to make any statement, positive, critical, how we can develop from here? Make the competition better, the judges, the communication, whatever you like
one thing I would
to share.
One thing I will say, and this is problematic in as much as time management and how long time the couples have to be on the floor, or the audience have to sit and watch. 6 couples and 2 components, that means 120 seconds, and 12 components in total, 12 scores, that's 10 seconds a couple, including the time I need to find them and deliver. That's too short. So maybe when we get to the semi-final, we should make it 3 couples that time. But of course it makes the event longer. But I feel that I'm being rushed to make a decision, to give a score. Luckily, I have, like I told you already, a lot of years of experience. I can make a decision based on instinct, also from knowledge. But I feel that it is too short.
Well, Bo, thank you so much for sharing this with us. You know, we know each other for decades, but it's really a privilege for me having this conversation. I didn't expect that to be, but
Thank you.
no, and you know why? Because it's a first ever, it's a pilot debriefing session. Is this disrespectful for the judges? As we want to restore the respect of the judges, but for sure the main goal of the task force was assured to me was to combat competition manipulation. And you were so clear in your answers. You have your clear mind, your statements were clear. So I would like to thank you in the name of all the viewers for sharing this information with us, and I hope you do very well in the near future.
So, thank you.
Thank you so much.